Everyone, welcome to NFT Art Talk in the Morning, where we talk about news, hot topics, and industry updates related to both crypto and the NFT art scene. If you're new to the channel, we want to welcome you to our community of acceptance and celebration. We're here live daily, Monday through Friday in the mornings, talking about the news. That's where we are right now. And in the afternoons, around 1 p.m. Central Time, talking about art and the artists that inspire us. People are calling me for some reason at 8 a.m. Who knows?
Getting blown up in the morning, dog. What's
You know
up with
how we
that?
do? That's that dad life, bro. Everybody knows, like, oh, this fool's been up since 6 a.m., which is no lie. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. We'll welcome you in here. In the afternoons, we talk about art and the artists that inspire us: art, music, fashion, culture, metaverse, anything else that we find. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget, if you're with us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you know when we're live and we have new videos. If you're with us on Twitter, thank you so much for coming there as well. Give us a like on that tweet, shoot us a retweet, maybe give us a follow. We really appreciate your support, and we always want to encourage everybody to come over here to YouTube with us. We like it here. We have an interactive chat. We put all the links in the description below that for anything we show on our screen. It's just a little bit more of an engaging piece of our community. But we're happy to see you wherever we can get you. Regardless, my name is Moshe, aka DJ Fetus, if you haven't met me, and this is Karthik NFT in all the places. What's good, dude?
Man, just chilling, just getting up. There was a wild storm here in Austin last night, so that's kind of wild. Just get the rain here, but the rain came through. Sending out prayers and positive vibrations to Uvalde for the tragedy that happened there yesterday. And yeah, man, just glad I'm here with you, bro. And we're just kind of vibing, just trying to set off the good vibes for the morning, bro.
I agree, man. I'm so happy to be here and be safe. I want to echo Karthik's sentiment of peace, prayer, love, and, calm tranquility in a time that is probably, I can't even imagine how the people and the families in Uvalde are feeling. And I just want to send as much love as I can to them and their families, and condolences too. But yeah, thank you for mentioning that. And yeah, man, I'm really happy to see you here. I'm happy to be safe with our families. Um, so I'd love to dive into some of these hot topics and
Let's
news, if
do it,
that's
man.
cool. Let's
Yeah,
let's
let's go.
let's jump in.
Let's look at it.
So it's midweek, so we always like to kind of come back to our crypto market caps. Just to keep an eye on everything. It's interesting. Terra is still trending. I saw that. It's been a couple weeks up there since their hack. Everything else looks like it's kind of in the same range of what we've been reporting to you guys. I'd say over the last like 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit down on where it's been like on Monday, but not so substantially. With Bitcoin at 29.4 at the time of this filming, so staying in that 29 range. Ethereum staying in that 2K range at 1949 time of filming. What else do we have here? XRP but jumped down under 40 cents at 39 cents. Cardano in the lower side of the 50-cent range at 50 cents. Solana $47. Let's see. I know we like to talk about. We got Matic at 63 cents, so kind of on the lower side of its range. Yeah, I mean, it seems like things are still slightly leveled off.
Yeah, so everything like Bitcoin's been hovering between that 28 to 30K, somewhere between there. Yeah, the stock market kind of dipped a little bit. I think Snapchat's earnings kind of came in lower than expected, so kind of brought down the whole Nasdaq, which is kind of like the tech sector component that kind of aligns with crypto a little bit. But yeah, man, you're just kind of seeing it go sideways in this area for right now.
Yeah, I mean, same in the NFT space. We see Flow at 267, ApeCoin down to 738. It had been chilling kind of in that $8 to $9 range as we had been reporting on it. We're not financial advisors. We just look at this thing 3 times a week with you guys nowadays. So we can kind of remember what happened a couple days ago. But yeah, Tezo is actually interesting. It was hovering under $2 for quite some time. It's busted up over $2 at the time of this filming, up almost 15% in the last week, which is very exciting for us, Karthik and I. We have a lot of stuff on Tezos, so and who knows, how much more we'll have. But yeah, just like to round out some of our coins here. Karthik, do you have anything in here, or move into
No, it just
rarity?
seems like the same ones up at top. I know I was talking to somebody about a flow. Kind of learned a little bit more about that last week. They're kind of affiliated with NBA Top Shot. There was a company I was talking to down here that was trying to do kind of like music digital collectibles using Flow. So it's interesting to see that's at the top right now.
Yeah, I mean and like I was talking to some Tezos artists yesterday because Tez Tuesday, and it's like all the Tez artists like get around and we were kind of like comparing Tezos to like some of the other chains just in general. And it's cool because it's so NFT focused. Like Flow, I'm sure is similar. That it's like a lot. I mean, I shouldn't just assume, but when you look at these like NFT coins, like the whole point of them is to support these NFT ecosystems. So like,
Right.
ApeCoin is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Tezos is like Hickek Nunk and all of the different NFT collections. Like Sandbox and Decentraland are associated with the metaverse, which is very heavily affiliated with NFTs. Like especially Decentraland and Sandbox, you buy the majority of the stuff on OpenSea. And so it's kind of cool to see, and like Kartik mentioned, a lot of the stuff at the top that we're seeing seems to be the same. And the reason why we find it valuable to report to you guys is it does give you a sense. Like a lot of the cryptocurrencies follow Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's blowing up, if the other coins aren't blowing up, maybe they will. Not financial advice, just thoughts, right? Same thing probably. I know ApeCoin has like a lot of the derivative coins follow ApeCoin, like derivative NFT coins, like Decentraland, Sandbox. I mean, these are kind of like some of the main metaverses, right? So if their coins are crashing down, it says something that's happening, and the industry is probably feeling it. Just a
Right.
thought, not
Yeah,
financial
and it's
advice.
most of it's like Moshe said is kind of followed by how Bitcoin's kind of doing. One of the best analogies someone gave me is like Bitcoin's kind of like the SPY and the indexes in the stock market, and kind of primarily most of the stocks follow that. So you kind of see similar kind of aspects within the cryptocurrency realm in that
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's keep it going. We got Rarity Tools here. We haven't looked at them this week, but some of the same kind of newest collections added, which does make me wonder how you become a newest collection added to Rarity Tools. But I did notice Gentleman Dow up here. The rest of them, I think we had mentioned last week for the most part.
Trap
And then
Monkey.
seeing some of the same stuff that we were reporting on Monday when we were looking at the overall market and like top tens, which again is just a way for us to understand how the leaders are doing. DGen Tunes, V Friends, and Cool Cat seem to be kind of the newer ones for this week in the 7 day. V Friends we kind of expected because of VCon. Kartik brought that up at the end of last week. The Gary V conference in the Midwest. DJ and Tunes is just a cool collection. I think we looked at that one recently on the show.
Yeah, DJ and Tunes I've seen been popping off on Twitter and stuff like that, kind of trending within the NFT space. It's kind of like Looney Tunes, except kind of degened out for NFTs.
Yeah, and like honestly, also, let's see, we can just pull it up so we can look at it real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. Old school,
Um,
like cartoon bug.
yeah, look, it's kind of it even has some like cause vibe in it.
Yep.
But those look like they might be some of the more rare ones, so those are probably harder to get. But yeah, this. I laugh slightly inside because it's like, all right, is it time, dude? Do we need to start releasing our Creative Commons project of like, look at this. This is like 1910s cartoons. Like this whole graphic may be, who knows, who knows where it
Right.
came from. But yeah, I mean, like there's so much content that's similar to this that's just free use on the internet now because it's been around for 100 years. Um, it's very interesting stuff.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of concepts actually in modern pop culture. They're kind of reiterated storylines or characters from the past that are public domain. A little tidbit secret no one really talks about too much. Like Jungle Book, that's public domain. They have a couple. Metropolis is an old school movie. They're still kind of going through what that public domain is. Old school Superman's public domain, like the cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, and look, Karthik and I are not telling you to go grab that stuff up. We're just saying, we're just noticing something. Like, it is
right,
actually very complicated, as Karthik has kind of mentioned to me. It can get very complicated. You don't know who owns the trademark. It might not be copyrighted. Somebody may have trademarked
right,
it. So you still have to be careful and knowledgeable of what you're doing with art. But it is very interesting, the amount of content online now. Yeah, like a bunch of the old, like, Scrooge McDucks and like old school kind of like Disney spin-off shows. A lot of the old school Disney, right? But then of course Disney trademarked Mickey Mouse. You know what I
right.
mean? So that's a good example. All right, let's get into some news, and then we'll send people on their midweek day, on their midday, whatever.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me go with this one. I know we talked about Seth Green a couple days ago, but I thought this was a little more interesting because it elaborated on what happened. Someone stole Seth Green's Bored Ape, which was supposed to star in his new show, and I thought it was kind of a funny article. The actor has been pleading on Twitter with Darkwing84, who bought his ape from a scammer, to return it. Actor and producer Seth Green was robbed of several NFTs this month after succumbing to a phishing scam. And threw a monkey wrench in his animated series. The forthcoming show was developed from characters in Green's expansive NFT collection, but in light of the recent hack, the project's blatant crypto optimism has become tragically ironic reminder of the industry's shadier side. So yeah, he had this Bored Ape yacht.
Do you want to watch the trailer real quick?
Yeah, let's put it on the trailer, man. Yeah. Yeah, let me turn down the music. I don't know if any sounds coming out on my side.
Yeah, I didn't play the sound because it's got like a
might have some copyrighted material or something.
Oh, it definitely does. It's a it's like a, God, I can't remember the name of the band, but it's one of those bands that has like a banjo and an upright bass in it,
Okay. It's
Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, Mumford and Sons. That's the first that came to my mind too.
I don't know if it's Mumford and Sons. Sorry. Just reminds me.
But yeah, no, it's funny because I think he named the ape Fred Simeon, and he was going to use a likeness and rights for the show. He bought the ape in July 2021. He was developing and exploring the IP. What's interesting with this, man, is like, I know the IP process is totally different from buying the NFT process, right? So you can actually go file a trademark and all these things. So I'm wondering, like, is it in that smart contract? But even if it's in that smart contract, you still have to file that with like the U.S. Patent Trademark Office. So what I'm really talking about is what's interesting is like, okay, like you buy this Bored Ape or whatever, right, or whatever NFT, and you're like, okay, I own the rights to it. But then it's like, don't you have to file all these other like side trademarks and patents that say like I'm actually using their likeness for, Web 2 commerce, I guess, actually as well, right? And I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny. You spend all this money on these NFTs building this series. I almost think it might have been easier for him just to create the characters than deal with this whole mess, right?
Yeah.
Granted, I understand they're trying to build community within that, but for him now, he has to deal with this, which is such a nebulous kind of like circumstance that I don't even like. I'm even asking questions like, how does this even work, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's kind of interesting. Obviously, it's a brand new space. When this occurs, like people are gonna have to figure out what to do. But just one of those things. I thought like no one's really thinking about how this would affect the real world. And then here's a prime example of what just occurred, how it does affect your business in the real world when you're dealing with these characters' IP rights.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I know that there's like, when you buy a Bored Ape Yacht Club, they give you like some sort of commercial rights to it. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure like the intention was just to like, instead of making your own, just kind of like cashing in on something that's already,
Well, see, this is what I thought.
And has the community built in. But sorry, what were you saying?
Well, what I thought was interesting, say Seth Green filed the trademarks and all that with the U.S. Patent Office. Now, is it like, does he own those likenesses now?
Right. And
how do you distinguish? Like,
how do you transfer that when you transfer sale? That's another question I have. But honestly, those bases are worth like 300-400 grand now, in USD, depending on the market. So you would think if you were buying one at that price, you're probably like, okay, I can also transfer this trademark that I filed with, because like for instance, once Seth Green has like, if he did file with the patent office for like a show to use it in likeness on television and film or whatever, and then he's going to build the value that way of his character, and then when he sells it to someone, that's just more utility that you get. Like, I'll transfer this patent to your name,
Right.
you know but even then, are they even going that far? And like you said, then what happens if it gets stolen? Now what? Now you're suing someone for stealing it from you and for using it in like, in an Eastern European TV show or whatever. And furthermore, like you just said, this is an international game. What's it even matter if somebody has it in another country where they don't track copyright and patent, and they're like, "Hey, you're going to come enforce it over here?" Like, no, it's done, and I don't know, like, yeah, I have all sorts of thoughts on it, but we're going to keep it brief because this is a brief
Right. Yeah.
episode, and if you guys have thoughts on it, hit us up. We'll talk about it all day. We will. This is an article we found on Pitchfork real quick. It's not as much news as just like an interesting perspective. I will say, like, from the perspective case, like, I believe, in my personal opinion, which you can take it as far as you want, but this is an opinion show that Karthik and I do here. I do kind of get tired of the way that people approach these things, like what we were just talking about, like the way that, like, they're talking about how Ozzy Osbourne's fans bought crypto bats, NFTs, but then they talk about how hackers got a bite out of them. And then, like, even the way that like this bite out of them is published, it makes it seem like Ozzy had anything to do with it. Somebody hacked his Discord and sent out a bunch of tweets, and that's been happening in this space for a long time. It's just new people coming in. But it does go on to talk about like Snoop Dogg, Sir Mix-a-Lot. I think Madonna might be mentioned in here. Some of the larger artists. It kind of like gives you the perspective of like who's doing what in the NFT space. But then this article is really interesting because it kind of dives in to the into like what I thought was interesting about it is the way that music has changed over time. We don't need to look at the article. I can just tell you about it. The way that music has changed over time, and how the formatting has changed it. So now with this new space, it's kind of taken that digital music to another layer of music, right? Where you are, it's not on tape, it's not on this, it's not on that, but it's like like short format is really like, so 30-second tracks and 15-second tracks are super incentivized. Like, for instance, on OpenSea, where they won't even let you upload a 2-minute music track, right? So the music is changing. I'm just giving you one example, right? The music is changing. So now even myself as a musician, I think like, oh, I can just do this like little 30-45 second clip, and that's what most people are going to relate to. They're not even going to download the content. They're not going to download the full music, and then when you start thinking about how the NFTs are presented, so like in the future, you're going to walk into my virtual art gallery and push play on the wall. That's all you're going to hear, in the space or whatever. It's just interesting to see how that's changing the way that artists are creating. Digital art has a whole new meaning. 3D animation has a whole new meaning. Like, even yesterday in a space, someone was talking about how they always dreamt of like being an architect, and they went to school for it. But when they got out of school, the only job they could get was like digital design, like making ads. And then they got really good at that, but they still went to school for like architecture, and they never thought they'd get to flex that again. Now they're building buildings in the metaverse, and like that's their job, and they get to do this thing that they never thought they would get to do, but it's like reestablished in this capacity. So, I think it's interesting to see coverage from an article like Pitchfork. If you're interested, the link is in the description below if you're with us on YouTube, to talk about that. But also, I do want to heed what I said at the beginning. Understand when you're reading these things, like, don't knock something till you try it. And there's really safe ways to try NFTs. Like, you're not going to come into this game and immediately get robbed. Like, that just, just take your time. Don't click on suspicious links. Like, don't click on any links that anybody sends you. If somebody sends you a link, go Google that shit And if you can't find the link on Google, like, don't go. You
Right.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or ask a friend, ask us, hit us up. Be like, hey, I got this amazing offer for an invisible friend. Is invisible friend minting? We'll be like, bro, that shit's sold out, you know, 5 months ago. You know what I mean? So ask the community, lean on the community, just because, like, even Seth Green said it himself. Like, he went and clicked on some link he should have never clicked on. And learn how to disconnect your MetaMask from your browser. Like, there's ways to do this stuff. We're here to help you do that. So please hit us up anytime. But anyways, I spoke a lot there. I'm going to let Karthik wrap us out. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah, appreciate everybody kind of kicking it with us, checking out these articles, and just sending out positive vibes to everybody. I did read this article before Moshe presented it today, and yeah, it kind of talks about some of the people and spaces that we even see in here. And yeah, it's just about, what I really think in the end of the day is, like, these artists are going to lead the way into communication to the people, to like actual valid websites and links like that. So as artists, we just have to grow together, understand the correct format to present this, and then just come together and just message that out correctly to the people, right? When you're speculating on things and you're not too sure, should I go in for this? Well, that you're already questioning what's happening, right? You should be looking at, like, what artists do I believe in? What artists do I love? What artists do I get into? And then how do I support them? That's how you should be really looking at all this.
Yeah, and the phishing is coming from FOMO. It's
Right.
like, and phishing are these links, these suspicious links. But anyway, this has been an awesome episode, man. I could just keep going on this for another 25 minutes, but I'm gonna wrap us up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're with us on YouTube. Don't forget to like and retweet if you're with us on Twitter. And as always, we are here daily, Monday through Friday in the mornings, talking about news, hot topics, and the industry updates. And in the afternoons at 1 p.m. Central Time, that's Chicago time. And that one, we're just talking about art, artists, inspiration, vibing out, a little bit less of this side of the picture. But we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you later this afternoon. Have a great day.